What up, y'all? It is Rainy Storm checking in, aka Crew, and I am coming to you live, giving you this Pluto in Aquarius, and we are going to get into the Leo rising to be exact, and this will be going through your 7th house. For those of y'all that are checking in for the first time, you already know what it is. Y'all don't know what it is, but welcome to my humble abode. First and foremost, I am your cosmic rootwork astrologer specializing in evolutionary astrology, karmic astrology. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can hit that link in bio. All of my readings from here on out, my personal readings are going to be donation and tip based. So you would like to book one of those personal readings with me, or if you would like to go off a barter and trade, I'm talking if you got like a artwork piece, jewelries or something, you might make some jewelry or something like that, little piece here that you want to trade, or if you have services that you want to trade in exchange for a reading, I am open to that. I also have courses available, and also to make sure that make sure that y'all subscribe to my newsletter. You will also get a free download of my Houses in Astrology course sent directly and straight to your email by clicking that link below. I also have a membership on Patreon available, as well as a new podcast available, and all that information, like I said, will be below. And on Sunday, as of Sunday, December 10th, December 10th, I will be talking about as to why I am now going to be making my readings a little bit more on the donation tip scale. Capitalism. I should really edit this, but I'm not going to edit this. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm going to post the actual video on here on YouTube, the audio on here, but you can also tune in, like I said, on the podcast and things like that. You can also leave a little voice note if you want to. You can, on the podcast, like if you look on the bio in there, you can share a voice note. So if you have any questions about astrology, you might be featured on the next episode. If you want to leave a little shout out, or if you have like some service or something like that you want me to try, and I could try it, and then if I love it, I'll promote it on the show. So y'all let me know how that go. Okay, and we'll go from there. So for the Leo rising with the 7th house energy, relationships is on the line here with Pluto going through Aquarius. Now, for those of you that are checking in for the first time and you're like, what is Pluto? What is Aquarius? What does that mean? I heard somebody say that Pluto was going to be in Aquarius, and I'm a Leo rising. So what does that mean for me? So specifically, when we talk about the energy of Pluto in itself, this is the planet of y'all ain't supposed to see that. Transformation at a grand scale. Okay, Pluto rules over this energy of Scorpio, right? And Scorpio wants to transform. It wants to it's the death, sex, and rebirth of the zodiac, right? It is the coldest as well. It's the furthest from the sun. So we know, because is NASA really NASA, and is space really space, or is it underwater? The world may never know. And so when we talk about this platonic energy, it just does this deep dive of, like I said, transformation. And so when it goes into the energy of Aquarius, this is like, rebellion energy. It's like shock. It's like doing the opposite of what everybody else said to do, right? So everybody's like, no, you should do it. And Aquarius is like, oh, yeah? Or no, it's like doing the opposite of what people say you shouldn't do. And Aquarius is like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to just do it anyway. Or, I bet you can't do it. And Aquarius is like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. This is also where we talk about, ooh, my leg is falling asleep. Oh, hold on one second, y'all. My bad. It's falling asleep. Okay. I ain't had that in a minute. Anyway, collective energy, collective groups, collective partnerships, and things like that as well. So when we have that energy go into this 7th house, which is the Libra house of partnerships, this has to do with romantic relationships, business partnerships, contractual agreements, and people who mirror you. This could be pretty, I'm not gonna lie to you. We have the lesser two evils. It could go a little bit both ways here, but this platonic energy going through your relationships is going to be showing you some things, not only about other people, but about, maybe hidden parts of yourself that you did not know existed. you know. I don't know why I'm thinking of this right now, but I'm thinking of somebody that's like, I don't know what it was, but until I got with this person, I didn't even know I had it in me. I didn't even know I had this side in me. I didn't even know that this was a part of who I was as a person. I didn't know I could invoke this kind of energy until I got with this said person or these said people. Okay? Like, even though we talk about romantic, like long-term romantic relationships into the 7th house, this also is just in relation to other people with the 7th house in general. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a business or romantic relationship, but it could be. But also like collective groups and things. So maybe you have a relationship, a friendship relationship, or a collective group relationship that, you know, there's some power struggles in the relationship. You know, there's some obvious power struggles in the relationship, and maybe it makes you, you know, at the end of it all, you just like, you know what, instead of searching for this kind of relationship that I've always wanted, it's not to say that I can't have it, but I'm just gonna start relating into relationships a little bit differently. Maybe you start to crave your freedom in these relationships now. You're like, actually, instead of this, I kind of want this instead. Instead of that, I kind of want to do this instead. You know, so it just changes the trajectory of how you look at the relationships. And just Aquarius being in the 7th house in general, you definitely want to check where your Venus is. But period, point blank, emotional or mental stimulation is facts. Let's just be real. Attracting partners that kind of spar with you on a mental level first and foremost. But this could just create this level of energy where maybe the intellect is like, the intellect is God, and maybe you have like heated debates over who's right of the state of humanity, for example. I don't know, just stuff like that. So it can just like, relationships can seemingly blow up. Mind you, this is happening, I know you don't want to hear this probably with Leo rising, this is going to be happening for 19, 20 plus years. So I'm not saying that all the experiences that you run into, I'm not sitting up saying that everything's going to be bad, but just know that these can get quite explosive, to the point where, like I said, it just is like a catalyst for the literal change in trajectory of your life. You want to see if there's any planets, what is aspecting as always. But there are going to be relationships that come into your life during this time that you'll be, you know, after this, you'll be like, you know what, after that, I was forever changed. I could never look at those things the same. Now, I will say, because Pluto is here, this has to do with like relation to other people and collectives. And like I say, with this Pluto and Aquarius in general, just be aware of cults, cult groups, cult followings, especially in the times that we're in and moving into. Beware of drinking the Kool-Aid. No shade to those that did, or survivors of those that did. I'm just saying, just be careful of being in situations where you are being controlled by groupthink, controlled by, you know, people that want to, you know, because the times that we're moving into right now, especially just with the collective and everything like that, and just society, that what we're seeing this obvious separation in between the powers that be, the cities, you know, these, you know, the ways in which people are standing in society, right? And how people are related to society. You're going to see a lot of groups that are forming, a lot of collectives that are forming. And because we don't know what it's like to be self-governed, heavy on the self-governed, people are going to be searching for communities that are, in a sense, you know, not everybody, because there's some people that's still going to be locked into the matrix. So I'm not even saying this is going to be everybody, but the people that are separating from these passages. And, you know, this is in their journey to be in a place and taking this leap of, you know, having their own collectives and things like that. People are still going to have to be in this space where they're decolonizing their mind from a system that has kept us locked in for generations and centuries. And so people still might have this idea, for example, that maybe that we have to run our and maybe even they're doing it subconsciously, not even realizing they're doing it, but running our, or just ushering in our collective groups, kind of how the society has, this hierarchy of society. Now, I think what I can believe 100% that Aquarius is going to smash this hierarchy of systems of power. But like I said, because it's not going to be just a day to night switch, we are going to be in places where we're going to have to like literally decolonize our minds from this idea of having this hierarchy of rule, and that it's not up to one person to be a catalyst in a system that we're all a part of and need to play a part in. And so you could just have some run-ins here with people, in groups and collectives, where maybe that there's just like a hierarchy that's wanting to be established, but it's not really the most beneficial for the collective or the group setting. And even romantic relationships, like one-on-one romantic relationships and things like that, you could find, these are all examples here. I'm just kind of like, talking out what could possibly happen, of just maybe somebody just wanting to have control over you, or control, or just can get a little obsessive in the relationship, and you just want to break free of it. You're like, you know what, I don't want to be in any relationships that are trying to control my hand in any kind of way, so I'm good on those for right now. I just, I will, maybe you put your friendships over your romantic connections at this time, just example like that. Or you can even see, oh, please don't do this to me, Mars and Gemini, with me, myself, and I. If something else I wanted to bring up, or exploring, thank you, or exploring like a powerful business partnership with somebody. Maybe you get into collaboration with somebody and it becomes powerful. It's a very powerful merge with another or a group of people within this business partnership, or the legacy that y'all are leaving behind in the collective can come up here as well. Let me see. Also, too, there could be some powerful romances that could take you to the distance. You might meet somebody, because Aquarius is distance. Maybe you meet somebody from a different land or a foreign place or foreign country that you end up, completely changing the trajectory of your life and move to a completely different place with a partner. And you're like, I never thought that I would move to this place or be in this, whatever, in this foreign place, a foreign land. Like I said, Aquarius rules the distance of something. And you're like, you know what? Never thought it would happen, but here I am. In a whole, partnership with somebody. And if it's not a romantic relationship, this could be, like I said, you could end up meeting like a collective group in a foreign place. And it doesn't have to be overseas. This could just be a place that you've never been, but could also be foreign too. You end up meeting collective, and then you move that way to this collective, and then y'all end up starting like a commune of, collective group of people who, growing, and, you have different people who serve different things in the community, and it's just a very powerful progressive unit. It's like literally Pluto, a force to be reckoned with kind of energy here too. This might even, like I said, bring you in touch with your soul tribe even here. What else can I say here? I think that's all I have here. Oh, one more thing I do want to mention is about this wanting this deep connection. So you could find yourself craving this deep connection to another, craving your deep connection to like maybe like this romantic relationship, but then there's a part of you that could be extremely distant from deepening this connection, or intimate, connection one-on-one. And so I think it's more so about trying to find the balance between the two, trying to find a balance between yourself and another, and figuring out exactly what it is that you want from your relationships with others. But just know, like I said, there are going to be some people that are mirroring just maybe certain parts of yourself that maybe you've even hidden from yourself that you didn't even know existed or were buried away, that come up subconsciously. So that's what I have for Leo rising and Pluto going through that 7th house. We're going to be tuning into Cancer rising in the 8th house. Like I said, make sure y'all check out those links below. And I hope to see y'all soon. Definitely leave me some comments. I love to hear y'all's feedback and things like that. And we're going to go ahead and get into the next one. All right. Deuces. Oh, Arrhenius, don't checking in, checking out without a doubt. Deuces.